You guys ready for some Am I the Asshole? Featuring assholes. Am I the asshole for asking my girlfriend to cut back on her messy hobby? Interesting. My girlfriend collects rocks and bones. Not crystals or anything. She doesn't think they have any magic powers. They're just normal rocks. She's not into astrology or any witch stuff. She sometimes tells me about the rocks and what type of rock they are, and it's usually chert? What does chert mean? C-H-E-R-T. Chert? She's really outdoorsy and she travels a lot for work, and when she gets back from a project, she has a pocket full of new rocks. The bones are usually deer bones that she finds out in the woods, and she doesn't have as many of those. The skulls are cool, but also kind of creepy, and most of them don't have antlers or anything impressive like that. Her favorite bones are shoulder blades and the spine bones. Okay, interesting. If we go on a hike, she'll sometimes stop randomly because she's found a cool rock that looks like a normal rock you'd find anywhere, and puts it in her backpack or her pocket. Sometimes she asks me to carry them, and I have to put dirty rocks in my pockets. Oh, boo fucking who? Oh, boo hoo. Where do I find all the nice girls that don't cheat, that are loyal? You want me to put a rock in my pocket? Fuck you, bitch. Like, she keeps them all over the house on tables, but mostly in her bedroom on the dresser and on her desk. She usually keeps the skulls and bones on the dresser, but puts most of them in the closet. When I said it creeped me out when I would wake up and see a bunch of dead animal skulls staring at me. But she takes some of them out when she's working at home. I will say, though, that would annoy me if they're everywhere. Like, I feel like you still need to be mindful. The problem with the rocks is that there are so many of them, and it's starting to make the apartment seem cluttered and kind of messy. If anyone came into our room, they would just see a bunch of random rocks all over the place. The other day when I was cleaning, I put all of them in a nice box so that they were all in one place, and she got really mad at me when she got home. Okay, she says she likes looking at them, and seeing them remind her of the different trips that she's taken, even though they all look the same. And she said that they're beautiful and make her happy. She also likes to pick some of them up and carry them around during the day. I calmly explained that we are running out of space for her rocks, and maybe she could take photos of pretty views she saw to remind her of the trip, and she got really mad and said that it wasn't the same, and I couldn't tell her what to do with her apartment, even though we both live here, so it's my apartment too. Are you saying you don't pay rent? Is that what you mean? I tried to get my friend to commiserate, but he said I was being an ass for trying to stop my girlfriend from doing something that makes her happy, and that I should just be thankful that her hobby doesn't cost any money. Also that, like, actually though, am I the asshole for wanting a clean apartment? I'm not even telling her to get rid of her random rocks and bones. I just want them put away and the place to look nicer. I feel like I'm going to have such a different opinion. Let's see the edit, and then I'll say what I want to say. Edit. You don't all need to keep yelling at me that I'm the asshole. Someone sent me a link to a nice organizing case specifically for rocks that she can keep on her desk. I'm going to get her one of those as an apology gift and see if she wants to put some in a shadow box. Okay, so here's the thing, okay? He's had a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. The fact he's like, I have to put the dirty rocks in my pocket. Okay, yeah, that makes you seem like an asshole. This is a tough one, though. Definitely boils down to communication. It sounds like he doesn't pay rent on the apartment, so it is his girlfriend's apartment, so that's also where the lines get kind of blurred. But here's my opinion. If I was the rock collecting girlfriend and rock and bone and skull collecting girlfriend, and my partner was like, hey, like, I really want to have a little bit more uncluttered space in the house, and I want it to look a little cleaner. Like, I'm okay with the rocks, just maybe not all over the apartment. Maybe you can like keep them just to your desk or just here or there. It's a shared space, and I feel like that's totally a reasonable thing to ask. He should have asked before moving stuff. I do agree with that too. I think that he was just putting them all in a box. He didn't think it would matter, which you then apologize, but I don't think that's an asshole move to collect all the rocks and think that he's cleaning them up to put them together. But there's more communication that needs to happen here, because maybe the clutter is stressing them out and it's making them have a negative living space, which you don't want to do to your partner either. So if I was the person that was collecting them, my partner being uncomfortable in their home space would definitely be something that I would want to correct, so there could be like a happy medium. He does sound like he's probably an asshole outside of this, but I think that wanting them to clean up a bit is fine. But the fact, asking my girlfriend to cut back on her messy hobby is different. Asking her to cut back on the hobby is definitely different. Being like, you can take photos instead. Like, that's, again, different. Depends on what he's calling cluttered. Yeah, that's also true too. Again, unreliable narrator, so maybe they're not actually all over the place. But at the end of the day, I think overall, OP is an asshole. Maybe not specifically for what he wants as the end goal, but the way that he approached it and everything that he said in here, it made him an asshole. Am I the asshole for yelling at my wife for firing our babysitter and making her cry because she called an ambulance? Oh, wait, hold up. Hello, Reddit. I have just downloaded Reddit because my niece said I should post this story to the Am I the Asshole board, so here I am. I'm not very good with technology, so forgive me, but I'll probably be messing this whole post up, okay? So basically, here's what happened. Me and my wife hired our babysitter, who we've been going to for years. We have 2 sons and a daughter, and we've been hiring her since my oldest son was a baby. Though it was mostly her mom looking after the baby while she was helping, so we gave her a couple of dollars for that, okay? She's now 16 and can look after the kids all on her own, and my oldest 2 love her. My youngest is only 7 months, so I'm not sure he really gets it yet, but he seems relatively happy when he's with her. Okay, cute. This Friday, my kids' daycare has been closed for reservations, and Daisy, our babysitter, has kindly offered to take them after school from 3:30 to 6 p.m. I get home from work at 6, and my wife get home at 5:30. However, I got home early from work at 4:30. When I got home, I found my wife yelling at Daisy while Daisy was just sobbing and apologizing. I asked my wife what was going on, and all she did was start yelling that Daisy cost us a bunch of money. Oh, my first thought was that she'd broken something, but my wife wasn't telling me what it was. She told Daisy she should be paying for her time and to get the fuck out of her house and never come back or she'd call the police? Jesus, that escalated. Daisy then ran out crying, and I left my wife to calm down while I comforted my kids. They were all crying in a different room while my wife yelled at Daisy. When everything had calmed down, I got the full story from my wife. Okay, let's see what the actual story is. So here's what happened. My mother had been looking after the kids until 3:30 while we were at work. This was Daisy's first time looking after my youngest son, though we knew we could trust her with the baby since she's looked after my daughter alone when she was just a baby. Something important that you should know is my youngest son has breath holding episodes, which occur when he gets frustrated or is in pain, and he will just hold his breath. To stop them, you have to blow on the baby or they will just snap out of it on their own. They're completely normal and relatively safe in babies. However, the episodes can sometimes cause passing out and blueness. Oh, no. And it's normal, and he usually wakes up within a few seconds. Oh my God. To cut a long story short, my mom forgot to tell Daisy what to do if this happens. And when my son passed out, Daisy panicked and called 911, and then my wife. My wife is now angry that Daisy called 911 for nothing and has now wasted our money on an ambulance ride. Me and my wife are now arguing because I think Daisy did the right thing, but my wife doesn't. Yesterday, we got into a heated argument. We both said some hurtful stuff, and she's now staying with her mother for a few days while she thinks over my priorities in the relationship. I'm sorry, your wife sounds like an absolute cunt. Are you kidding me? Berating and screaming at a 16-year-old for calling an ambulance because your child turned blue and passed out? Hello? Oops, forgot to tell you, the baby sometimes passes out when they stop breathing and turns blue. Oopsie. Let's scream at you till you cry in front of our children. That's absolutely insane. Like, I don't even need to read any more of this because not an asshole. Your wife is unhinged. That's absolutely insane. I could see maybe in the moment, wife being heated, whatever, for whatever reason, stressed out. I don't know how she did not, after the fact, realize, oh, I fucked up. That's crazy. Throw the whole wife away. The fact that she went overboard to that extent, made a 16-year-old child cry, that's crazy. Like, could you imagine? What happens if the child, it was something different? And they passed out, turned blue, and then died. Would you then be yelling at Daisy for not calling an ambulance? What if the baby was choking? What if anything else was the issue? If Daisy didn't call an ambulance, she would be done for negligence. Exactly! That's absolutely insane! Daisy did everything right. I fucking stan Daisy. We are a Daisy household here. This is crazy. Am I the asshole for laughing when my wife exposed our daughter? What does that mean? My 66-year-old male, wife, 66-year-old female, and I have a daughter, 41-year-old female. Oh, whoa. Okay, this is way different. Our daughter is married and has 2 kids, Violet, 15, and Ben, 10 months. Oh, wait, no, sorry. And Ben, 10. Our daughter and her family have been living with us for a while. We have a big house. My wife and I live on the first floor. The second floor is for our daughter and her family. Since Violet is 15, a teen, her parents are trying to make sure she doesn't get into trouble or do hard drugs. Okay. It was 5 a.m. My wife and I were eating breakfast. Our daughter came downstairs holding Violet's phone. We recognized it was her phone because of the purple cover. Violet and our son-in-law, 41-year-old male, came after her. It seemed like she was checking her phone for the first time. Violet is a calm teen. Doesn't fight at school, doesn't sneak out of the house, just a normal kid. But it looked like her phone wasn't like that at all. Our daughter found these videos on YouTube. In case you guys didn't know what ASMR is, they're videos where people make quiet sounds that are meant to make you relax. Some people make these videos, but with different types of sound. Our daughter tried to play one of them, but the volume was high, so we all heard a couple of seconds. It was inappropriate. I wanted to laugh, but I stayed silent. I'm not an old man. I know what kids do. Our daughter was a teen, my wife was a teen, and I was a teen. Violet didn't look the part. She looked like a library girl, which made it funnier. Oh God. So it was just like inappropriate ASMR sounds. Our daughter started scolding Violet and said she'll punish her. Our son-in-law was behind her. He was trying to look mad, but instead his expression was, this guy in face is exactly how her son-in-law looked. Okay, 66-year-old man. This is exactly it. This emoji right here. My wife looked uninterested. She wanted to eat breakfast in peace. She looked at her daughter and said, let's not pretend that you didn't do worse than that. If these videos were the only things you've done, I would have stayed at church and thanked Jesus day and night. I started laughing. Our son-in-law cracked a smile and laughed silently. Violet looked at her mom in surprise. It looked like a scene out of a sitcom. Oh, snap. My wife continued to eat her toast. Our daughter looked embarrassed and said that it wasn't about her. She looked at me and said, Dad, stop laughing. You ruined the scolding. Good job. I did indeed ruin the scolding, but my wife made me ruin it. There is no way I could have not laughed at that. She makes me laugh even when she doesn't mean to. Okay, listen. There's two things here, right? Actually, there's a couple things. First of all, you shouldn't be going through your kid's phone. I'm sorry, it's an invasion of privacy. I know they're young and you're trying to check up on them, but it sounds overall they're a good kid, so why the fuck are you going through this shit anyway? I think that's inappropriate, personally. If you're gonna allow them to have a phone, then you're gonna allow them to have privacy. Let them have their privacy. Unless there was actually something concerning that you thought that you needed to, it sounds like there was no reasoning for it, that you just decided to do it just because you're paranoid. Not really what you should be doing. On top of that, doesn't even sound like it was that bad of a thing. So the fact that you're like freaking out on her, kind of weird. But, it is her daughter. It's up to her how she wants to parent her daughter. And you are kind of disrespecting her trying to punish her daughter. So you are kind of disrespecting her parenting style, which is not okay, which is not really nice. But you're also bringing up and chastised and scolding your daughter in front of like the whole family on this, which is probably very embarrassing for her too. I think that's kind of inappropriate. I think that if you actually wanted to punish the daughter, then you bring her aside with your husband or whatever, but it's like a weird shaming in front of everybody for some reason, which I don't really understand that mindset. So I think grandparents should help guide their children when parenting. That's true. Like these are your parents. But perhaps everyone sucks here. Yeah, I think everyone sucks here. Like, I feel like Violet's allowed to make ASMR videos if they want. Like, I don't really think, like, I don't know, like, how sexual it was or whatever. Oh, she was watching. I'm sorry, what? Our daughter tried to play one of them, but the volume was high, so we all heard a couple of seconds. It was inappropriate. So they're mad that she was watching slightly inappropriate ASMR videos? What? That's crazy. That's crazy. She shouldn't be in trouble for that. If your fucking kids want to watch porn, they can. Like, it depends on the age, obviously, but it sounds like she's at a sexual age. I would rather that than she go in and doing anything crazy. She's a teen. She's 15. Sounds like girl needs guidance. Yeah. 15 is not a weird age to be watching stuff. I totally agree. 15 is not a weird age for being sexually interested in whatever. These people feel really weird and religious. That's probably what it is. I also get weird vibes that they're all just in the same house like this. I also find that strange. I use the family printer to print smut. The girl is just doing a modern version of that. Looking at weenies. Was it weenies? 15 is totally a weird age to watch porn. No, it's not. Did you not at like 12 look up big boobs? What big boobs? Big boob pee-pee. Like, doesn't mean that she's fucking to it. Doesn't mean she's doing anything while watching it, but there's curiosity and they have the whole fucking internet on their fingertips. Difference is she can look through her phone and go to whatever YouTube fucking channel she wants. I click the web fucking browser button for 2 seconds and I have a panic attack. I'm gonna get beat because how much fucking money every second is. And there's only one computer between your whole family. I didn't know how that shit worked. I didn't look up any of that shit. It was on YouTube. How racy could it have been to not get flagged? Yeah, and it also was an ASMR video. Like, you think that they would say it was porn if it was something like naked. They were just saying that it was ASMR with inappropriate sounds. But at the end of the day, not the asshole. The parents aren't really, it's weird that you're being so involved in your kid's life. And the fact that you're reprimanding her for listening to an inappropriate ASMR video at 15, that's crazy. That's crazy. Am I the asshole? My 39-year-old female ex-husband, 37-year-old male, is insisting I change my last name back to my maiden name because his new fiance, 24-year-old female, feels it'd be awkward for her and I to have the same last name. Am I the asshole for refusing to change it? Goes from the 39-year-old wife to 24-year-old. Do you know what this tells me? This one right here does not have emotional maturity, so he needed to find someone that was more on his level. Sorry, not sorry. Anyways, my 39-year-old female ex-husband, 38-year-old male, has been dating this woman for 3 years. Oh, 3 years. 3 years! 3 years! Since she was 21, okay. For context, she is 24 years old. My ex and I were married for 12 years and have been divorced for 5 years. We have 3 kids together who are now teenagers. My ex and I got divorced because we were young when we met and got married and we grew apart as people. It was a mutual decision. Okay. It was a mutual decision and we agreed our kids came first and have always co-parented very well. Okay. This has been the case up until last year when his girlfriend moved in with him. Previously, we would do holidays and kids' birthdays together. Now, when she is present, they won't even sit near me at our kids' sporting events. Damn. I've always been nice to this woman, despite my kids expressing they do not like her and feel their dad acts differently when she's around. Oh no. My ex told me early on she wasn't a fan of me and felt I intimidated her. Okay, but were you? When I asked him for examples of how I intimidated her, he said it's my face. That I have resting bitch face and it makes her uncomfortable. My ex and her got engaged over Christmas and my kids were less than thrilled. My daughter especially. She feels her dad made a major life decision without even talking to them first. Oh damn. My ex called me yesterday saying he is giving me the heads up that I have a year to change my last name back to my maiden name as his fiance is expressing her distaste and concern for her and I to be having the same last name when they get married. Or else what? Or else what? What you gonna do? I told him we agreed in our divorce that I would keep his last name until I felt the need to change it. And that is what is listed in our paperwork. I also told him I don't want to have a different last name than our kids. That's also fair. He said I'm being unreasonable and refusing to see how this would make his fiance uncomfortable. Bitch, she knows that you were married, so either be okay with it or don't. Go fuck off. You have no... You have no power over the ex-wife. You have power over your husband, whatever you want to do in your relationship, whatever. She is not included in your relationship whatsoever. You can't tell her to change her fucking last name. Who the fuck are you? What is this entitlement? I told him I can't see it from her side because I'm a grown-up and not an immature child like she is. Okay. He told me I could ask anyone about the situation and everyone would agree with her. So am I the asshole for refusing to change my last name to make her happy? But it's my name. And guess what? When you decided to make a lifelong decision and marrying her, that is what she got in return. Was your last name, okay? And if she wants to keep it for whatever fucking reason, she can. Because that is her name now. You can't tell somebody to go change their fucking name. New and old wife should fight. Winner gets the name. Stream it. Honestly, yeah. She ruined her gooch for you. Your kids. Let her keep the name. Oh my God, that's so true. She birthed 3 children for you. Carried and birthed 3 children. And she's also co-parenting with you, even though you're with a fucking 24-year-old. Started dating a 21-year-old. My guy. That's crazy. Does anyone know where the shop where men get the audacity? But it's the girlfriend. I'd be so grossed out if my ex dated a 21-year-old. And the kids don't like the girlfriend. Oh, God. It's also the ex-husband being an immature moron. Yes. Yep. Still feel like I'm 16. To be honest, age isn't real. I also feel like I am just a small... baby girl. I'm just a baby. I don't have no money. I don't want to be a ghoul boss. I just want to be a baby. You know? New wife was 9 when they got married. So I'm gonna say not the asshole is your name now. When you ripped your vagina apart to give birth to those children, you're allowed to keep the name that they share. Okay? Update. Wait, what is this update for? To my ex, I'm doing... Oh, update! Spicy update! Several of you have asked for an update on my ex-husband giving me a year to change my last name back to my maiden name because his fiance was uncomfortable with her and I having the same last name. I tried to link the original post, but it's not allowing me to do so, and I'm not sure the best way to give an update, so I'll try this. To clarify, the reason he gave me a year is because they are getting married sometime next year and they wanted my name changed prior to their wedding. Anyway, my ex called me yesterday and said he had done a lot of research on ex-wives keeping the ex-husband's last name after divorce. He stated he didn't realize how common this is, especially when there are children from the marriage. He also said, "This has been my last name for 17 years. My entire adult life has been with that last name, and I have built a career with it." He basically acknowledged that every reason I had to keep it was legitimate. Wow, he used his own brain instead of thinking with his penis, so his fiance wouldn't be mad at him for a month. He apologized for the way he initially approached me about changing my last name and explained he is in a bad spot trying to make his fiance happy. He also explains she feels that by me keeping his last name must mean I'm still in love with him, and this is my secret way of assuring we end up together again someday. The insecurity! I am informed this was not, nor will it ever be the case. Yes, I care deeply about him because I was married to him for 12 years and he is the father of my children, and I want him to be happy in life. However, I fell out of love with him many years ago and that will not change. Queen. He said he informed his fiance that he will not bring this up to me again, and if she didn't like it, the ball was in her court to decide if she wanted to continue their relationship. Surprising W from the ex-husband. Thank you all for the feedback on my original post. I never expect this kind of response, and I'm an overwhelming amount of comments and advice. Damn. A whole mess. Honestly, W's all around. The update, I will say, the ex-husband stepped up. The ex-husband, not an asshole, kind of corrected the shit. You know what I mean? But the new fiance, God, your insecurity is reeking through the screen. It's so bad. Best update so far. You literally, yep, that man deserves a cookie. And not the 24-year-old's cookie. She needs to just go away. She just needs to go and leave this old man alone. Oh, old man. I'm very close to his age. But anyways,